We have yet another episode being done today for the past podcast. If you're tuning in, I do appreciate it. If you'd like to check out any previous episodes, go to Spreaker.com/Brite Podcast. Nonetheless, let's continue the show. Alright, now that I've closed out like every single app possibly known to man on my phone and on my computer, and now that I'm in airplane mode, so my phone won't be in the way, my watch isn't in the way, nothing's in the way, and the day has been constantly ongoing, but for good reason. Past podcast, back at it again, doing our daily episodes. I may have mentioned it, but I'll go ahead and give everyone the update now. Of course, today is Saturday. Typically on Saturdays, I do my sports podcast, and we talk about, our artist spotlight, things of that sort. Co-host had some things go on, so that episode will be done. Matter of fact, I have to show note prep, podcast prep, things of that sort. As far as getting information, research going, have it all squared away tonight. So I'll kind of be having ADD. I'm not doing that right now with this podcast because this is kind of going to be a what I've needed and how things have been able to go in a better manner for me type of deal. So the weekly episode, pretty much you'll kind of get a good feed, which means you'll get two good high quality sports podcasts this upcoming week. So I'll do the weekly podcast that we normally do today will be done tomorrow, and then at the end of the week on Saturday it'll be business as usual. So thank you all for bearing with me. I've been pushing, going, thinking, running, chilling, but it's been all for a good cause. Yesterday was kind of like a unwind, let loose, let your hair down kind of day, and no, those days never hurt. Today was kind of considered to be the exact opposite, but it was the exact opposite for good reason. I kind of was able to relax. One of my connections, I call her my bartender Bay. She had a little get together for her daughter's first birthday, so that was a blast. That was a joy to do something a little different. I know my work sis, my sis, she wanted to be there, couldn't make it, but things happen, life happens, so it's no big deal. Wanted her to rest, kind of chill out. Sometimes it never hurts. But afterwards, turned into somewhat of an improv, but yet a worthwhile experience because I'm slowly getting, and I guess this is kind of going to be like a bit of a ramble podcast, but it'll kind of tie into what I'm really thinking of and referring to, because I've talked about peace and I've talked about relaxing and just kind of finding your sane calm. Today was kind of like the same calm, but it was like getting something accomplished that I've been trying to accomplish for probably a couple of years, and that's to get friends who I know to get acquainted with other friends that I have that I know have that I know have similar likes, such as being in football, being in the video games, being in technology, whatever the case may be. So my boy, who pretty much has known me probably at least half of my life, which is not a bad thing at all. He was able to meet my twin, and we, all kind of just went out to the park and just relaxed and just mashed it up about sports, technology, streaming, things of that sort. And I'll be the first to admit I needed that, and it helped kind of give him a little bit of a perspective of, hey, if I haven't been really talkative or really hanging like I normally do, here's why. Because I'm hanging with folks that are extremely just as petty as you are, if not pettier, and they kind of get me through the best and the worst times. And it's just been an ongoing growth / transition / process in so many words, where you're taught and you're reminded to just value those important things that people are able to do for you, let alone that you're able to do for yourself. So I'm just the main observation, or the way that I look at it or see it as being presented, is it helps once in a while to just do that odd or unique thing that you normally wouldn't do, and just kind of make the most of it. And that's basically what today was. There's a strong likelihood I'll probably be kind of, I ain't gonna say letting my hair down, but kind of getting a little bit of that downtime of just sitting back and reflecting. And it'll make things a little easier and a little less bothersome, I guess. So it's a good thing, and it's a helpful process. And here's why I say that. I may have mentioned it in the podcast, and if I haven't, I'm going to mention it now so you all will understand. I kind of hit a burnout wall, and things weren't the best of the best, but they were what they were. So they were kind of able to be made to just kind of go along with the process. Well, one thing that I did during my downtime or during my process of just trying to figure out what was going on was, let me just take a little bit of time and take a moment to just kind of sit and just adult a little bit, but also unwind a little bit and just kind of unplug. And that's basically what triggered the fluidity and the simpleness of me returning back to the grind and back to a lot of things that I did or didn't observe, or whatever the case may be. So to have it turn out the way it did taught me how to just take that moment of just focusing on myself. And by focusing on myself, it's worked towards just simplifying things as needed. I'm telling that story predominantly because today was no exception to that, and more than likely, which I don't see why it won't happen, tomorrow in the midday, it's likely going to be a similar situation of just kind of getting away, as most people term it, just to kind of unplug and just take a minute and just enjoy what is. I was also, like I mentioned, I had it happen a couple of weeks ago, or I'm sorry, not even a couple of weeks ago, a few months ago. And that was like one of my best feelings, where it was, hey, I got everybody to I got folks to meet other folks that I've talked about, and now everybody can kind of put two and two together. It's like, oh, so this is who you're talking about. So now they understand it, and it makes a lot more sense when I say, hey, this is so-and-so, or yeah, this is the guy who da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's like, all right, now I get it. Like, now I have a better understanding of it. So I'm telling that story, and I'm giving this podcast today just not just to say, hey, find your inner peace and remain calm through everything, because as my twin presents it, and it's just kind of the harsh reality, it's not the easiest thing to remain calm and or peaceful through everything, because there are going to be those moments and those times when the world isn't giving out rainbows and clouds and unicorns. It's giving out shit sandwiches and struggles and battles that you just got to kind of fight through and get through the best way you can. So I'm just saying that, and I'm just presenting it to you all as a better understanding that you're never going to have every day be great, but just because every day isn't great doesn't mean that the bad days have to outweigh your good days. Your bad days outweigh your good days solely if you allow them to. And it shouldn't be that way. However, some people have that mindset of it being that way. So just something to think about, and something to kind of look into and put your mind into understanding that if you're having a rough day or you having things not go the right way, matter of fact, I'm BSing y'all with this podcast because I'm going to tell you what it is. If there's a thing that you like to do, or there's a thing that you normally wouldn't do that could possibly help you maintain or gain or acquire a form of sanity, do it. Anyone that knows me knows that writing was my sanity. And I always value and enjoy sitting and just opening a book, getting out a pen, and just doing a little writing of some sort. Writing, music, and gaming are my big three. Writing is probably first. Listening to music, finding new tracks, of course. Shameless plug, Kendrick Lamar's album is pretty good. I'm not going to say fire only because I want all of the fire newness to wear down. But Kendrick Lamar's album, I'm feeling that's kind of been my sanity, my little small piece of sanity here and there. So, I do my writing, music, find your music that you like. It doesn't have to be, me, it's classical and kind of like relaxing songs. If you listen to trap and that's your thing, let your trap music do what it does. And gaming. And that's what I really have been pushing to get back into a little bit more, is that moment of just kind of turning on the Xbox and just playing. And it's coincidence because I'll bring this up in the podcast tomorrow. There's a game that's been released that relieved a lot of stress for me and is going to be relieving a lot of stress for me in the future. And I'll talk about that on tomorrow. I'm kind of going to tease you with that one a little bit. But I wanted to at least sit down and not skip my daily episodes in addressing the importance of being able to just find that thing to do that can give you like a peace of mind, or a calm ear, or a calm eye, or a calm storm. Because it's almost like it's a process. There's the moment, there's the calm, and then there's the storm. Well, I'm sorry, rephrase it because I ruined that. It's the calm, then it's the storm, and then the shocking part is it's typically either the sun, or as an added bonus, you get the sun with the rainbow. So that's what I'm going to leave you all with tonight and for the podcast for today. So get that thing, or do that thing that you love, that's going to give you your stability mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever the case may be, because you never know what you may need to do to get through whatever's going on around you. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, check out for the next one. We've done it once again. We finished yet another episode. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you're not following on Twitter or on Facebook, please look up Pass Podcast. That's PASS Podcast, one word. I am accepting inquiries for any topics or concerns at passpodcastbt@gmail.com. And just continue to support. I appreciate all the support and everyone listening and tuning in. Until next time, y'all take it easy.